Hello, magandang araw sa lahat. So, dito tayo ngayon sa situation number 4 ng ating PISAD series, no? So, welcome. For this video, let's solve problem from November 2015. You're given the properties of a steel column. The depth is 305, web thickness given, flange width given, and yung flange thickness is also given. And then, you have here a base plate. Okay, and which is may dimension na given, and then we have loads. So yung loads na binigay, we have a vertical load, okay, and we have a horizontal or lateral load. Okay, and then you're given the allowable base plate bending stress, bolt shear stress, and the allowable weld shear stress, no? So actually itong item na to is under pa ng allowable stress design, no, because of the given. Pero solve pa rin natin. Okay? All right. So let's start with number 1. Find the required base plate thickness. Consider fixity. Ibig sabihin fully restrained, no? Consider fixity at the edges of a rectangle whose sides have dimensions equal to 0.8 bf and 0.95 b. Okay? So, ano daw yung thickness ng base plate? Alright, so itong binigay dito, actually, yung mga yan is, yan talaga yung conversion natin kapag meron tayong wide flange. Okay, that is kumbaga, the converted rectangular or assumed rectangular equivalent section nitong wide flange na column. No? So, ang ginagawa ay, okay, so siguro palakihin natin. Okay? So, ang ibig niya sabihin doon, okay, so lagyan natin ito ng values. Ito ay 300. And then ito ay 450. Okay, so ang ibig niya sabihin doon sa 0.8 BF and 0.95 B, ibig sabihin, if this is the BF, no? So we will consider a 80% lang nung flange thickness. So ibig sabihin mas maliit dito. Okay? Tapos, we will also consider only 0.95 nung depth. So, ibig sabihin parang mas maliit pa dyan. So, bali, parang something like this yung magiging equivalent rectangular area. Okay? So, meaning, if I would try to trace it out, so parang ganito siya, yung may equivalent area natin. Okay? Kumbaga, i-convert natin yan into a rectangular column. Okay? Na kung saan ang dimension daw, according to the problem, this is 0.8 of BF, okay? While this is 0.95 of the depth. Okay, so if we would calculate that, that means we have yung 0.95 ng depth will give us, ang depth nga pala ay 305. Okay, that will give us 289.75 millimeters. And then para sa BF, we have 0.8 of BF, 200. So that's 160. Okay, so i-convert na natin sa equivalent na rectangular section. So from here, what we would try to visualize is that ito nakapatong sa pedestal, no? Kumbaga parang ganito na siya. Parang nasi-simplify siya into a base plate that is which supports a rectangular column. Ng dimension ay 289.75 millimeters by 160 millimeters. So parang simplify siya ng ganito. And then, ito yung rectangular column kunwari. Yeah. And then, we have here the base plate. Okay? So, of course, nakapatong ito sa pedestal, no? Kumbaga may concrete dito sa ilalim. Okay? And once we apply a force P here, of course, magre-react yung pedestal. So, yung reaction natin is pataas, upward. Ganyan, no? Ganyan yung reaction natin. Okay? Ayan. Alright, and that particular reaction, siguro tawagin natin yung reaction na to na FP or Q, no? Or kahit ano po, kumbaga, that is a pressure, no? Na reaction. Okay? So yung pressure na reaction na yan is basically, ano lang, no? Ito ay pressure, ito yung force, tapos meron tayo ditong cross-sectional area. So bali, cross-sectional area yan ng base plate. Okay? So, now, you might be asking, sir, paano naman yun dun sa lateral load? Actually, dapat, kapag given halimbawa itong height na ito, dapat ito ay consideration ito is combined axial and bending. No, kaya lang, sa problem na to na lumabas noong November 2015, wala naman kasi binigay na height. Okay, so ibig sabihin, parang ina-assume lang natin na ito, nag-a-act na mismo dun sa pinakababa. No, parang ganun lang yung idea niya. No, pero again, kung meron sana ditong height, hindi ganito yung magiging pressure diagram natin sa ilalim. Kumbaga, dahil merong moment dito mas malaki yung pressure, tapos dito mas maliit. No, so parang ganito yung magiging pressure mo. Okay? Pero again, dito, dahil ang assumption natin ito nag-act na mismo dun sa bottom, so ibig sabihin, wala na siyang effect doon sa pressure, yung value sa normal or bearing pressure between the pedestal and the base plate. Okay? So anyway, paano pa ito ginagawa? So una, lagyan natin ng mga sukat. So alam na natin na ito ay 289.75. So ibig sabihin, makakompute natin to at saka itong kabila. Okay, so total yan is 450. So ibawas lang natin. 450 minus 289.75 ay divided by 2. So that gives us 80.125. Okay? Tapos ito naman, okay, so this is 160. Okay, dahil okay, and we can also measure this both sides. So again, dahil alam natin na ito ay 300, so 300 minus 160, that's 140 divided by 2, you will have here 70. Okay? So those are the measurements. So ang idea ngayon sa pagde-design ng thickness ng base plate is kukuha ka daw ng maliit or kukuha ka ng unit width ng base plate. So either in this direction, okay, or in this direction. Okay? So whichever will yield a larger bending moment or bending stress, no? Kasi ang idea niyan, kapag tumingin tayo sa side view, ang idea kasi nito, ito yung column. Na kunwari lang nakatingin ako dito sa side view, sa side na to. Okay, tapos, 'di ba alam natin meron ditong pressure sa ilalim. Yun yung FP. Kaya ang idea kasi, yung ibig sabihin nito, nitong statement na to, consider fixity at the edges of the rectangle. So ibig sabihin, i-assume natin na ito fixed support. Ito rin fixed support. So ibig sabihin, itong part na to, dahil doon sa FT, no, uniform load FT, para siyang cantilever na kung saan ito magbe-bend upwards. I-exaggerate ko lang na mag-bend siya upwards. Okay? So ang gusto nating i-protect dito is yung pag-bend niya upwards. So ibig sabihin, gusto nating i-protect yung ano na to, itong fixed part na to. So gusto nating malaman kung anong moment niyan. And kapag nakuha natin yung moment niya, that will be under bending stress at malalaman natin ngayon yung required thickness based dito sa binigay na allowable bending stress. So ganun lang yun, no? Okay? So again, kukuha ako. So di ba natutunan naman natin na kapag ka mas mahaba yung length, mas malaki yung moment na ipoproduce nun. So actually, dapat i-check mo to, i-check mo to. Kaya lang, kung itong green kasi, 70 lang yung ano niya, length. Kasi ito namang dilaw, 80 ang length niya. So I think, between the two, mas critical itong dilaw dahil mas mahaba siya. So dito, ang gagawin na lang natin, kukuha tayo ng unit width. So ibig ko sabihin ng unit width is, kuha tayo ng 1 mm na thickness or na width. Tapos yun lang ang i-analyze natin. Okay? So kunin natin itong dilaw na to. So mangyayari dyan sa dilaw na yan, okay, assume natin na yung face ng column is a fixed support and then, or gawin natin baliktad para magmukhang yung nasa side na yun, no? O yung sa kabilang side. Yeah. Sorry. Okay, so bali ito yun. Okay? And then, meron ditong upward na pressure FP. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, ang requirement natin, makompute itong moment na to. Okay? Tawagin natin na M. Ang length nito is, according to the drawing, that is 80.125. Okay? Tapos, ang cross-section nito would become, ito ay 1 mm. Tapos, ito yung thickness na hinahanap natin. Okay, yan yung cross-section niya. No? Bali, yan yung cross-section niya dito. Okay, kumbaga parang ito yan. Sa total, may 3D naman tayo. Parang kumuha ako ng isang ganito. Ayan. No? So, ang nakikita natin ngayon na cross-section na to, gawin natin sigurong pula. Ito yun. Yung cross-section na to, ito yun. Okay, itong cross-section dito. So, 1 mm yung width, tapos yung thickness niya is P. Okay? So now, let's calculate first FP. So, of course, to calculate FP, since yan naman ay based lang dito sa P na to, so therefore, FP will be equal to force P divided by yung area ng base plate, which is, bali yun yung bearing area kasi, bali 300 by 450. Okay, so given naman yung P, that is, saan na yung P? 720, lagyan natin. 720. Ito ay 160. Okay, so 720. So we have 720. 720. Gawin natin ano? Megapascal. So gawin natin tong Newton. Tapos 300 by 450. So mm squared. So ito ay naka-megapascal. So 5.33 megapascal, no, yung FP. So 5.33 megapascal. Okay? So ngayon para ma-compute yung moment doon, no? So summation ng moment at the face of the support, ito 'yon, equal 0. We have assuming counterclockwise positive. So yung in-assume ko na M ay clockwise, so negative M. And then yung moment na ipoproduce nito, okay, would be the, bali actually volume yan ha, kasi ito yun eh. Bali ang area, bali meron din dito kasing naka-upward force. Okay? So bali yung total equivalent force nito would be the volume of the prism acting upwards doon sa ilalim ng base plate. Okay? And that would be yung length, no? Or FP muna, FP times yung length, 80.125, times yung width, which is 1 mm. Okay? Times, so bali ito, force na to. Okay? Bali, length times yung width doon. Okay? So again, kung gagawin nating 3D yan, no? Ito yan eh. Kumbaga, ito yan. Okay? So meron dito sa ilalim na nag-a-act sa kanya. Okay? And then, ito, half. No? Yung moment arm will be half of 80.125. So 80 0.125 over 2. Okay? And this will be plus. Sunan natin konti. Okay? The rotation it will produce will be counterclockwise. So that's why this is plus. And then this is all equal to 0. Okay? And then kapag pinasok natin to dito, yung 5.33, we will be able to calculate the moment at the critical moment at the face of the support. Okay? So ito yung FP, no? So multiply lang. So store ko na siguro to. Baka kailangan natin mamaya. So A times 80, 0.125 times 80.125 over 2. Okay, and that gives us that moment. That moment is in Newton millimeter. No, kasi megapascal ito, tapos ito puro millimeters. Okay? So we have 17120.04 Newton millimeters. Okay? So ngayon na meron na tayong moment, papasok na natin ngayon yung bending stress. So di ba ang bending stress ay equal sa MC over I. Okay? Tapos, alam natin na yung allowable bending stress is 186 megapascal. Tapos yung M natin, ito. Okay, tapos yung C natin, no, ito yung cross-section natin, ano? Ito yung cross-section natin. So, di ba pagka nag-bend yan about this axis, ang C natin is kalahati ng T. Okay, kalahati ng T. Over I. So, ano naman yung I? So, bali ko, ito yung axis of bending natin. No? Ito yung B, kasi ito yung H. So, di ba? BH cube over 12. So, 1 times T cube over 12. Okay? And from this equation, we should be able to calculate the required thickness. Okay, compute natin. So, paano ba? So, di ba magka-cancel to? Tas squared na lang to, tas cross-multiply, tas divide, tas square root. Ayan. Pwede nyo naman ship solve, kaya lang sanay lang ako na hindi nag-ship solve. So, we have yung answer kanina, over 2, over 186, over 12. Okay, and that gives us 23.5 millimeters. Oops. Okay, 23.5 millimeters. So, ito naman yung required thickness. So, sa choices, meron tayong 20, 24, 20. So, syempre, dahil ito ay size nung material, kailangan ipapalakihin pa natin or i-round up natin, no? So, therefore, we can use 24 millimeters. Okay, and that would be our answer for this item, 24. Okay, next. Using a 16 millimeter diameter bolts, how many are required to resist the lateral load? So, di ba, kapag ito nga ay nag-act horizontally, ito mga bolts na nandito will experience shear stress. So, bali ito, simple stresses lang ito. Itong number 2. So, ito yung number 1. Ito yung number 2. Okay, so sa number 2, ano lang, allowable shear stress is equal to force. In this case, yung force natin ay yung H over area. So dito, area ng mga bolts. Okay? Pero, kung isang bolt lang yan, bali yung area ng mga bolts, hindi ba, area ng isang bolt times kung ilan sila. No? O, ang gawin na lang natin itong singular. Ayan, tapos times n na lang. Okay? Kung ilan yung bolts. No? So therefore, we have FV 68 megapascals is equal to yung H na binigay ay 160. Gawin natin Newton para in the same units with megapascal. And then N times area ng isang bolt. So pi over 4, tapos ang given daw dito ay 16 millimeters. And from here, we should be able to calculate for N. So we have 160,000 over 68 times pi over 4 times 16 squared. Okay, and that gives us 11.7. Again, we will round that up to 12 volts. Okay, so our answer here would be 12 volts. Dito, 24. Okay, and then finally, number 3, calculate using 8 millimeter thick fillet weld, what is the total length required to resist the lateral load? So kapag naman daw, siguro ang ibig niya sabihin dito, ano yung weld dito sa sa I section, no? Ano yung total length na kailangan? Well, madali lang yan. So kung babalikan ulit, yung stress FW ay equal sa force, again, yung force natin is yung H over area ng weld. Okay? And kung babalikan lang natin ng kaunti yung idea ng weld, di ba kapag meron kang winelding, may winelding ka na ganyan, no? So yung sinasabi niya na thickness dito, ito yon. Ayan, at saka ito. Okay? And ang idea niyan, kapag mag-shear siya, it will have a shear dito sa tinatawag natin na throat. Okay? So, yung throat na yan yung parang area, effective area, no? Effective area dun sa shearing niya. Kaya yan, ito ay considered as 45 degrees. So, 90 degrees ito. So, lumalabas kasi itong length ng throat. Kaya yung length ng throat ay, kapag sinolve natin, no, ito kasing T lalabas hypotenuse, ay T sine of 45 degrees. Kaya dito lumabas yung pag kinompute mo yan, yung sine 45. Sine 45. Pag kinompute mo, yan yung 0.707. Yun nakikita nyo sa code. Pero galing lang yan sa 45 degrees. 0.707 times T. So, ibig sabihin, yung area ng weld, kasi mahaba yan no? Pahaba yan dun Okay, kumbaga sa 3D, ganito yan Parang ganito siya. Yan, pag ganyan yung weld No? Pag ganyan yung weld sa mga, let's say, ito ay may something dito na winelding na steel. No? Tapos meron ding another steel dito, kunwari, let's say plate. Ayan, plate. Ayan. Okay, kumbaga pinag-connect mo itong dalawa. Okay, so gumamit ka ng weld dito. Okay, so syempre yung total length, so yung length ng throat, ito lang yun. So plus, ito pa yung length nito. Times pala, times yung length na to. Kung gaano man kahaba yung weld na yan, no? Length ng weld. So dito, ganun din. So therefore, we will have, this is equal to H over yung area ng weld ay 0.707 T times L. Okay, and from there, dito ko na lang ituloy sa baba, yung allowable weld shear stress daw ay 124 megapascals equals 160 kilonewton over 0.707 times yung thickness na 8 times L. And from here, we will be able to solve for L. That is 160,000 over 0.707 times 8 times 124. Okay, and that gives us around 228.13. No? 228.13 millimeters. Okay, and therefore, for this one, our answer would be, ayan, 228. Okay? So, that's how you solve this problem. Okay, so thank you all for watching.